What up? What's happening, y'all? Countercultural Life, volume 385. We don't even know what volume we are anymore.
28.
We're
no, 29.
28. 29. Volume 29. Countercultural Life podcast. One of the aspects of the Countercultural Life podcast is when you are living counterculturally to somebody, you have to be able to have a conversation with them, a dialogue, a flow of meaning as dialogue is meant. You have to be able to critically think through the person's argument and have good questions that foster engaging, developmental, fruitful dialogue. So before we came on and before we hit record, I'm laughing because he had to slap the hat on. I love it even more. My young friend, my young, fabulous, amazing producer friend, Noah, he makes a comment. He said, how can you be a Christian and an OKC fan? Because I am an OKC Thunder fan. I have the flag up in front of the house. The house lights up with OKC Thunder lights when they're playing. We have all the stuff happening. I'm an OKC fan. I can name every player on their roster. I can tell you all about OKC
on their roster.
Well, how could you not name every player on their roster? They've been on TV the most. Yeah. I mean, everybody knows that. Anyway, but he made a comment that they are not playing ethical basketball. So, in the spirit of this podcast, we're going to begin right there. Sure. I have to know and understand as a fan, when you say non-ethical, that brings out a whole different space for me. So, help me understand with your Sonics hat on, because yes, we stole the Thunder from the Seattle Supersonics. And as my sons like to say, well, you weren't an OKC fan. I have the shirt to prove it because I had the Kevin Durant shirt that said "Welcome to OKC" on it. So my sons like to say that I wasn't a fan back in the day. I was.
I'm going to tell you what I said last night to my family at my mother's birthday, okay? I said, I feel bad for people who have to pretend, people that have been OKC fans for a long time and have to pretend like this is okay. That's what I said last night, okay? So this isn't your fault. I'm just saying and I know they didn't start it, but first thing, OKC has tough defense, like genuine Pistons level defense, right?
Lockdown defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then on the other side of the floor, get the softest whistle in the game and throw
100%.
themselves. They do the stupid little like pump fake, jump into the person, fling the ball. And it's and the thing is, they don't need to. SGA is awesome. I am not an SGA hater. I hate the way he plays. But like you'll see him do his little like dribble move down into the paint, throw it up. It doesn't get touched miraculously, but then it's ruined by all the other times when he's just throwing himself into defenders. And the fact that they have, this is really what broke me. This is genuinely what broke me. When I saw Jared McCain throw himself into a defender trying to get a foul, that's what broke me with the whole OKC thing. Because I was like, all right, whatever, it's the ref's fault. But then at some point, you can't just ruin a young guy's game. And then he doesn't have to be.
Okay.
You don't have to play like that. That's not how the Spurs play. That's not how the Timberwolves play.
That's not how the Spurs play. When we want to highlight Wemby's crazy elbow in the face because he was protecting himself.
Oh, you have Lou Dort? What are we talking about? There's not a moral high ground to stand on when you have Lou Dort as your enforcer. He's out there actively trying to kill people, genuinely.
Lou Dort. You gotta have a Lou Dort on your team. I just love. It's funny.
I think Lou Dort's kind of funny, but he's gonna kill somebody. Like he's.
Can we talk about this from an American Canadian standpoint? I feel like as an American, we've jokingly said that Canadians are soft. Like we've jokingly said that, like that's been kind of a theme. Like, well, just Canada, haha. It's just Canada. Literally, SGA hands down, best player in the league, Canada. Lou Dort, best. Okay, it's hard for me to say this, but yet dirtiest enforcer in the league, Canada.
Took that from Dylan Brooks, by the way. Took that title from Dylan Brooks.
Wait, Dylan Brooks. Where's Dylan Brooks from?
Canada.
Canada. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you
don't even have to go
Canadian
NBA
players
if we're going to talk about that. I mean, just the hockey players alone.
Right. But how did you see? So I did not watch the game last night. Why did I not watch the game last night? First of all, we were up 3-0. It was 11-5. The Lakers were 11-5 dogs. I wasn't, but the real reason is it started at 10:30 here. That's the real reason. Yeah. If I'm just real with you,
I didn't watch either.
But the picture of Dylan Brooks and him dapping up SGA at the end of the game was probably the highlight that I enjoyed the most.
It's pretty good. It was
to
good.
let you, to let you know that there was really no beef between SGA and Dylan Brooks, and really the beef is between SGA and LeBron and everybody that hates LeBron. I think that was just my thought. I was like, why would Dylan Brooks be at the game?
Dylan Brooks doesn't genuinely hate LeBron, for the record.
Yeah,
he idolized him and had like just the way Dylan Brooks plays because he was a big fan of LeBron growing up. He's got to have that edge to him. But I think that LeBron likes Dylan Brooks because he really pushes him. So it's like a mutual respect type of thing, not a genuine hatred. Like Draymond and Dylan Brooks. Like Dylan Brooks, I think, would swing on Draymond in public.
Yeah.
But
who was I watching? I was watching a Cousins video. The only person that Cousins backed down to was Kobe Bryant in his entire career. They were just showing highlight after highlight of Cousins going after people. And they said the only person he respected was Kobe. Like, he went to go at Kobe. One time you see him step to him and he's backed up. And I'm like, yep, Kobe was that dude. All right, so on behalf of OKC fans, SGA, if you know his backstory, you know he had to become a very cerebral player because he lacked size. To an extent, he still lacks size. That's why he became so good at what he does now. And the free throw merchant, call him what you want, he has not gotten the calls this year that he got last year. That's just that there has to be a stat somewhere behind that. He is not getting all the calls that he was getting last year. Last year was crazy. I was watching like, okay, he's literally, people are breathing on him and he's getting the call. He's not getting as many this year. However, as a team collectively, I do believe that OKC is getting every call, which when you point out what Austin Reeves did, so first of all, let me just point that, and then we'll diverge to another topic. When you spend your time, this is a life principle. When you spend your time complaining and arguing about something that you perceive to have happened, while the other team is sprinting down the court for a dunk, you are in the wrong. And that happened multiple times from both Austin and LeBron. And we can't even get into LeBron right now because LeBron is LaFlop for a reason. That dude's been flopping for a long time.
Not arguing with that.
And I did. Me and my son had this argument because he was calling SGA a flopper. I was like, SGA doesn't really flop. He just gets the calls. LeBron, literally, people breathe
Depends
on him.
Depends on.
He acts like.
Okay, well, you have your flopper though, and I like Chet, but.
Oh, Chet. Oh yeah, Chet is a flopper. Chet does. Flop.
SGA was sixth in the most fouls gotten in the league this last year.
Really? Who was number one?
Luka,
yeah.
who played 64 games. So Luka's fun to watch. I got it. Luka's fun to watch, but he's not no moral high ground here. What's surprising is Jaylen Brown is number 2.
Yeah.
It's a little surprising to me. But
so I watched all those games this year. I watched the Laker games when they played OKC, and I watched the Celtics when they played OKC. And I can see Jaylen. I can't see Luka. And just for the record, I believe that we were not at full strength, and the Lakers were, and we blew them out by 30 when we played them during the season. So this people saying, well, if they had Luka, it'd be different. No, it wouldn't, because we blew them out when they were at full strength.
Yeah, but it can
However,
never really. I think that
it's the playoffs.
this year, though, I mean, we could have a whole conversation about does the regular season even matter? Because everything's been completely different than it was in the regular season. Not to say, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Lakers take at least a game with Luka. I mean, Luka's gonna have one game where he drops 50. That's part of
Yeah.
it. So I'm not saying I think that the Lakers would have beat them. I do think that whoever comes out of Spurs T-Wolves is going to give them their first real challenge in the playoffs, and will that be will and then they'll have to go play the Knicks, which are my team this year in the playoffs. I love the
They're
Knicks.
hot.
I love the Knicks.
However, they are in the Eastern Conference, and everybody in the East is not the same as everybody else in the
Yeah,
West.
but
So,
blowing
hot,
out the 76ers is pretty.
yeah, they're hot. They're hot. I will give it to them. They have heated up at the exact right time. Somebody called them a generation. I was like, what in the world? They have 3 great games, and somebody was calling them a generational offense. I was like,
They
generational offense.
broke 3 records, I think, this playoffs. They have the most points scored in the first half ever, and then they've had in a different game this playoffs the most 3-pointers made in the first half ever in the playoffs. So, like in the history books, it will.
But generational.
They're just saying. I don't know. I don't agree with that statement. I just understand it because they are breaking records. Being
that I am in the bowels of the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. Last time I heard generational talent comment something generational, guess who it was in regards to?
Dalton Connect.
No, that would have been smarter. I mean, that would have been.
He plays
Nico.
behind Bronny.
Yeah, Nico Iamaleava. That was the last time I heard it. It was a UT fan, a UT alum said he is a generational talent, and I said I'm gonna have to stop you right there. I said a generational talent. I said start naming generational talents. And he was like Peyton. He was like naming other generational talents, and
You think
I'm
he's
like,
on that level?
Jordan. I'm like Nico. You just said Nico is a generational talent. Anyway,
There's only been one true generational talent, maybe 2 of like I don't know how old, maybe 2 because I don't know how old Shohei is. The only true generational talent that my age has brought is Wemby. I mean, Wemby's like an actual generational.
yeah, he's just generationally different though. 7'6".
I mean, he moves like a guard. Like that's the crazy
yeah,
part.
I would love to see Spurs and Thunder again. I hope that's what we're going to see. I believe that's what we're going to see. I do not think that the Wolves win another 2 games. I don't think there's a chance. And the only team to beat us this year consistently was the San Antonio Spurs. However, we were not at full strength, as we haven't been all season long. And the game that we did rock them, we were, I think, this closest to full strength as we had been at the time. But anyway, Wemby is a hard cover regardless. Regardless of how good our defense is, he just spreads the floor with his length so well that it's hard to guard everybody.
I'd rather play the Spurs if I'm OKC. Like right now. Like they're tired. Wemby's playing the most minutes he's ever played for the first time, playing 40 minutes consistently. They're dealing with sprains and stuff.
Yeah.
And the Wolves.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yes.
The Timberwolves have a lot of experience, and I don't know. Either one, I think you're gonna beat. I just hope Knicks Thunder is a good finals because I think it will be.
Absolutely will be. I have only one more question before we move on from our NBA playoff edition, Countercultural Life. Is Anthony Edwards Ant-Man? Is he superhuman? Because if you saw
I'll posit you a different
his
question.
leg,
I'll give you a different question.
Yes.
Is he Jordan's kid?
Similarities. There's a lot of similarities there. There's a lot of the way they play, the way they walk, the way they look.
You've heard that
Extent,
conspiracy
yes.
theory though, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I have heard that conspiracy theory. But to see how he recovers from injury is crazy. Because I said there's no way he comes back in that series. And I said he's not coming back for the playoffs. And to be back, 2 games later after he hyperextended his knee? Or was it the next game?
He was out for
can't-
like a
it
week.
was
He
either
was out
ne-
for like 5 to 7 days, I think.
I think he might have been out for one whole game.
Yeah, which like
One
spread
whole
out to
game,
like 5 days.
Yeah. He is Wolverine.
It's pretty crazy. I like him
Yeah.
too. I'm a fan of him.
I do like him. If you watch Starting Five, did you watch Starting Five, the Netflix
I don't know
series?
Netflix.
I liked him. It made me like. I mean, I love SGA, but that Starting Five show, I really became a Tyrese Halliburton fan and a even bigger SGA fan. But Ant, I was like, he just, it was interesting. His whole, I'm like, this dude is like really a kid. He's a kid. He doesn't seem like a full grown man NBA player. But anyway, just my thoughts.
I agree with you.
All right.
What's the point of that? We're just gonna have a random cut, and you're gonna come back in a different.
Random cut, and I'm coming back in the Thunder jersey. All right. So since this is our NBA playoff edition, let's talk about. I just don't think the East Coast is as strong as the West Coast. I don't think there's. I think that it's a 6-game series to the West Coast at the most. I may be wrong. Doubt it that I'm wrong, but
It just, I mean, if the Knicks are shooting like they've been shooting, like there's a chance. And it really
a
depends.
chance.
We haven't had enough experience watching Cat versus Wimby, and Cat has been hot these playoffs. Like he's popping off. And if OG Anunoby is back at full health, they have the tools.
there's no. Here, I'll make this comment right here. There's no
If it's Spurs
big
fans.
men that run the floor like Hartenstein and Chet. None.
I'm with you. I don't
There's
disagree.
no big men that pass the ball as well as Isaiah Hartenstein does. Isaiah Hartenstein
Jokic,
is a
but-
phenomenal. Yeah, but Jokic is a whole different level. That's really, that dude's amazing. I don't care what anybody ever says about the Joker. That dude's.
I
that
could just
dude does
watch
it
him
all.
pass all day. That's the best part.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, he is so fundamentally sound and beautiful. I could watch Joker play all day long. But there's no, I said this the other day to somebody. I said I said there's no bigs in the league that run the floor like the Thunder's bigs do. Chet is a hard cover. However, if you've watched the Thunder and Spurs play, it seems like Wemby gets in Chet's head. It seems like Chet does not have, the times that I've watched it very closely, Chet did not have good games against Wemby. And it looks like he gets in his head. Now, you do the backstory, they've been playing together since they were playing against each other since they were 16 years
Yeah.
old. So
I don't know. We'll see. I think the Knicks have a chance, though. I mean, I don't, especially if somehow the Spurs come out against Thunder, which I don't think is going to happen. But I don't know. I think it'll be 6 games, 6 games minimum, for sure. The finals.
yeah.
If it's Thunder Knicks, I don't think the Thunder are
Yeah.
blowing out the Knicks, especially at MSG. They're going to lose a game just off of crowd vibes.
So do Thunder Spurs go 7?
It depends, I guess. It just depends. I don't think it does though. I don't think that the Thunder are gonna have too much trouble getting through the Spurs. I don't know.
I don't know. Full strength, full health. I don't think so. But watching, I was very frustrated. I watched out of Thunder games this year. Out of all of them, I probably watched 70 of them. Because I paid for the whole Prime NBA, all that stuff, and watched every time that they weren't playing past 10 o'clock at night. I was watching them. Today I got up and my first question after I think I said my prayer for having a good night's sleep was, "Hey Siri, who won the OKC game?" The OKC Thunder swept the series 4-0. I don't know. My series does talk like a nice British lady. So, but outside of that, I watched all of their games, and the only game that frustrated me all season long was 2 Spurs games. Because it looked like that they were out of sync. Chet was off. Wemby was in Chet's head. And just, I don't have a better descriptor for it than Wemby just spreads the floor with his length so well. It didn't seem like their defensive rotations, which OKC is phenomenal for their defensive rotations. It did not seem like they were rotating as quickly as they had playing on the team. So,
there you go.
Anyway. The thing that the Spurs don't have is OKC goes 12 deep.
Yep.
Easy.
I mean, the Spurs are building that. Like, the Spurs are kind of where the Thunder were like 2 years ago. So,
yeah,
they just need time. It's not a condemnation of their ceiling as a team. I just don't think this is the year.
Yeah.
Better hope they don't get Giannis.
Oh. Spurs get Giannis?
I mean, I don't know. There's
not,
just a rumor about everything. I think what is genuinely most likely, and I get most of my sports news from Bill Simmons, so I'm prerequisiting that. Okay. The thing that makes the most sense to me is Giannis going to the Celtics for Jaylen Brown to Atlanta, and then everybody gets their picks back to the Bucks. That makes the most sense because the Celtics, it seems like Jaylen Brown, it seems like coin flip on if he comes back to the Celtics with everything he's been saying and stuff. And if you can get rid of Jaylen Brown off of an MVP caliber season and get Giannis, who moves farther east to get closer to Greece, that makes the most sense to me because I don't think Portland's going to do it. No. I don't think. I mean, the Clippers. It could be the Clippers. There's just
I mean, if I'm Giannis, I'm going to a contender, or I'm not going anywhere.
I think Giannis would be very happy going to the Celtics, which would be, heartbreaking for me. I hate the Celtics, and I used to like Giannis, so I switched teams because of Giannis buying Kalshi ads.
I think we've talked about that on the podcast.
Yeah, I think we did.
If we haven't,
my team now is the Hornets. I'm locking in with the Hornets because it makes. I don't understand why I wasn't just always a Hornets fan. It doesn't. They're 3 hours away from. It makes the most sense. They're geographically the closest. It's a fun time to be a Hornets fan, but it's not bandwagon. Like, it's a good time to kind of get into it. They're not like absolute dog water, but also they didn't even make the playoffs this year, so no one can call me a bandwagoner. And I'm really just there for Con Knipple because did you see my Instagram story the day that?
Yes.
Well, what's funny is because I have Instagram locked on my phone, so I had to go to my wife, have her put my code in that I don't know, so that I could get on Instagram and lose my mind about Cooper Flagg winning Rookie of the Year. Which is, there's like extra steps to the process now. So if I post something on Instagram, I was really mad. I was genuinely angry.
Yeah. So that's my goal, is to get Noah to post something on Instagram. I got to get him fired up enough to post something on Instagram.
Fired up enough
that way I know he's got to go through the 4-step process to get to it. So interesting tidbit of information. My first NBA game ever was this year, OKC against the Charlotte Hornets. So we drove to Charlotte for that game. And I also realized that I was still a true basketball fan as I showed up with this jersey on, and I heard another basketball fan goes, "Oh, he's a real fan. He's got a J-Dub jersey on and not an SGA jersey like everybody else had on." Because J-Dub is my favorite player. Why? Here's if it's bonus material. Why is J-Dub my favorite player? Other than I believe he is silky smooth in everything that he does on the court. He has a connection to me. What's his connection?
I would have guessed that he went to OU.
No. He went to Long Beach State, I think.
Oh.
No, his parents are Air Force.
Oh, Okay.
And his parents are Air Force. So he grew up an Air Force brat. And I probably at some point crossed paths with his family before the dogs are going nuts because somebody knocked on the door that I'm not going to answer. I'm looking out the window. There's somebody standing there. I cannot answer the door because I'm on a podcast. So there's that. Hey, why don't y'all just keep barking? This is real life. Hold on one second. Watch as I go to, well, I don't even know how to mute on here. Oh, well. I guess that ends it on that note. That is the end of the Counterculture Life podcast because the dogs have now taken over.
Mini episode. Let us know if you enjoyed a little mini episode about sports.
Mini episode.
No
What is it? No Counterculture Life. But
this
I
counts
call
toward
this
the this counts
playoff
toward
edition.
100 though.
Yes, it does. NBA playoff edition. Everyone counts towards 100.
Yeah.
So when we get to episode 90 and everybody's like, man, that podcast is hot. They'll be like, yeah, there were 89 other episodes before you even found out about it. So there's that. And you'll experience the first ever NBA edition, NBA playoff edition Countercultural Life podcast.
But I'm gonna edit and get out tonight if I can.
Yes.
An hour. So
Love, peace, and happiness. By next time we come back and talk about the NBA, hopefully it'll be about OKC playing the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals.
but let us know.
Peace.
Let us know if you enjoyed it.
Yep.
All right. Peace.